Welcome back to my final ranking for my Farewell to Gordon's video. And my final ranking my final video before my Farewell to Gordon's video. And in this ranking, I will be ranking the seasons of Pretty Little Lies from worst to best, in my opinion. So let's get on with it. 7th, Season 3. There is no bad season in Pretty Little Lies, so this list was hard to rank, but one season had to come last, and that season for me is Season 3. This season was coming out off the back of the reveal of Mona and Mona's death. It was also the first time we see that Allison is alive. Spencer is a mess at the end of the season, and we also see one of the most hated characters die in Garrett Reynolds. Overall, Season 3 was a fun experience, but there is just something about the seasons above that made me feel more excited as a Pretty Little Lies fan, so it ranks last. But like I said, there is no bad season of Pretty Little Lies. So, it being the worst season, it doesn't make it the worst season, makes it the least best season. 6th, Season 6. This season was confusing. The first 10 episodes take place 5 years before the final 10 episodes, because at the end of the episode 10, the Lies had found out who the new A was, and took off from Rosewood to live their own lives, away from A until 5 years later, where they have to return to Rosewood after Allison needed them to help release from Radley Sanitarium, who happened to be Allison's sister, Charlotte. However, after Charlotte left Radley Sanitarium and moved in with Allison and her then husband Elliot Wellens, a day later she was found dead, and it was confirmed as a murder, so the Lies had to stay in Rosewood until Charlotte's murderer was found. Who's Mona? This season started with the Lies trying to escape the Dark House, which they ended up doing. This was the best part about Season 6, and it ranks this season 6th. But it's not any higher because of the whole confusion that I mentioned at the start. Season 5. I repeat again. 5th, Season 1. Sorry for that mistake. 5th, Season 1. Season 1 was the first season of Pretty Lies, and as the first seasons go, it was okay. It introduced us to Rosewood and A. It also introduced us to the characters who we would follow over the course of the series, in Aria, Hannah, Emily, and Spencer. The worst character in the whole Pretty Lies series, Ian Thomas, was not only introduced in Season 1, but also died in the same season. I can't rank this season any higher, as it is the first season, and it isn't as strong as the seasons above, as the seasons higher take more risks. 4th, Season 5. This season was the first whole season with Allison alive. Like, alive. So that makes it better. We find out that who the second A of the series is, being Shana, who died at the end of the very first episode of the season. We also had Ezra in the stasis, in the hospital, being treated after he was shot in the gut in the previous episode by Shana. Jessica De Laurentiis dies in this season too. The best part of this season, however, is that we have a whole murder case going on involving Allison. Season 5 is an interesting season for Mona, as she is trapped in her own house and is killed by someone. However, many episodes later, we find out that she is alive and faked her own death. This season is also the introduction of the infamous Dollhouse and the infamous Charles De Laurentiis, aka Charlotte De Laurentiis, aka CC Drake. So that's cool. Season 5 was a really fun season of the show, and it ranks just outside the top 3. Third, Season 2. After the Season 1 finale, the Lies went in the best position, and because of this, they started visiting the psychiatrist, Dr. Anne Sullivan, who will appear in Pretty Lies Summer School, the second season to Pretty Lies' original sin. Anyway, back to Season 2. This was the season where the first A was revealed, with it being Mona. Unfortunately, the one bad thing about this season that keeps it from the top 2 is that they killed Maya off screen, and only showed a body bag with a body in it that we are supposed to assume was Maya. And that pissed me off. Slightly. But other than that, this Season 2 was an amazing experience. And was really fun to watch. Second, Season 7. I am one of those people who wants to see a series end well. So for the Pretty Lies series to end with such a great season is amazing. Elliot Wellens, who was actually killed, Archer Dunhill, was killed in a car accident. Noel Khan returned the season prior and then died in this season in a really gruesome way, which I mentioned when I ranked the major deaths in Pretty Little Lies. Watch that video, which is already out on my channel. The storyline of the Lies having to win a board game was great, and a fun concept, Arya became part of the A-Team for a period of the season. The two best parts about this season were both heartbreaking. The first is the death of Yvonne, who was Toby's wife after both him and Spencer broke up. Well, Yvonne, who was in a hospital bed because of an accident involving her and Toby, which caused her to fall into a coma, sadly died from her injuries, which left Toby distraught. The second best heartbreaking thing about Season 7 is Alicent confirms that she's pregnant. And how did she become pregnant in the first place? Well, that is because that is the heartbreaking thing. In an earlier season, Emily donated some of her eggs. However, they are eventually stolen by A, who uses them to impregnate Alicent, which is a really heartbreaking, especially for Alicent, who felt exploited. Unfortunately, that is what A does. They make people insecure and take advantage of them. Overall, Season 7 was a great and fun end to the Pretty Lies series, and it sets up the possibility of Arya, Emily, Alicent, Spencer, and other Pretty Lies characters to show up in Pretty Lies Summer School. My number one, however, is much more fun to watch for me, and that is Season 4. One of my favourite episodes to watch was in this season, called Crash and Burn Girl, which followed Toby and Caleb as they investigated the identity of Redcoat from the finale of Season 3. Some of the best parts about this season are the Ravenswood episodes, which were the episodes 17 and 18. In episode 18, at the end, we see Alicent alive and well, and then we see her again in this season. In episode 25 and 26, which also ties up some loose ends from the series, the best part by far in this season is definitely seeing the dead body of Downwood, one of the worst characters in Pretty Lies history. Season 4 was my favourite season to watch because of these things, and for me, rightly deserves to be called the best season of Pretty Lies. But in my opinion. So, if you have watched every season of Pretty Lies, please, in the comment section, rank how you rank the seasons based on your opinions. But, thank you for watching this video. For watching today's video. And in the next video, we move on to the big one. My farewell to Gordon's video. But until then, subscribe to me now. Click the notification bell to catch up with. To see when my future videos come out. This has been Jonah Bryan, and I'm out.